Ladies and gentlemen, fellas, welcome to the Masters Week. And this video right here is going to give you my outright betting picks that I currently have placed and that you can tail if you'd like to, and some other values on the board as it stands right now of this recording for the Masters, the Masters 2021. How y'all doing today? I appreciate you being here right now. And to just spice it off right away from the top, the first guy that I have a wager on this week, you can see him on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, is going to be Rory McIlroy. I found Rory McIlroy at 20-1, and I said, wow, this number is not going to move. I'm so lucky. I got in on it on Monday morning, flexing on everybody out there who can't get it, and it's still in the marketplace as of this recording. You can find it on FanDuel, so what you're seeing on the screen behind me is an odds comparison tool. They put the best odds out there right now in this column where I'm hovering my mouse right here, and Rory on FanDuel right now is still out there at 19-1. This odds comparison tool actually values Rory at 13-1. Now look, Rory has not been playing well as of late. He has not been playing anywhere near well, but there's no pressure on Rory at this point. And even though he's not playing well, he's still a borderline top 10 player in the world. He is still coming off of 2 top 10s out of his last 3 starts. So let's not get it twisted here. Rory misses the cut at the Players. Fine. He loses 6 strokes with the putter. That's something that normally is not going to happen, just blowing up, right? He lost 4 strokes at the Genesis, which is a comparable course to this one, and the putter was just gone for those 2 events. The approach play has not been dynamite for Rory, but it has not been pitiful. He's had, and let's just talk about this, right? He's had, dating back to November, a 5th at the Masters. Okay, so that's good, right? A 16th to start the year off, a 13th miscut, a 6th, a 10th, and a miscut. So he's had a couple of miscuts because his putter fell on him. But outside of that, it's been constant top 15 and top 5 and 10 finishes for Rory. He is still a standout player. It's just Jordan Spieth has been rising, right? Justin Thomas has won this year and continues to play well. The Bryson DeChambeau effect. Dustin Johnson's talk about the historic Masters that he put on last year is dropping Rory everywhere in the media outlets, in his DraftKings pricing, in his overall betting market. So I have Rory at 20-1 as it stands right now. And if you want to get him at 19-1, I still think it's a good bet, and I'm going to be recommending that right now as my first outright, the one that I already have placed. I have a total of 4 outrights and 3 leans that we can talk about through this video. But a couple seconds of your time right now, just give me 2 seconds of your time, right? We cover PGA, we cover NFL when that's in season, NBA every single time here. So if you're interested in any of the content that I have, I'll be live tomorrow taking any questions that you have in the betting markets, in the DraftKings DFS markets, that you have player props, anything, head-to-heads for this golf on the Masters. I'll be live at 1 p.m. East Coast time on Wednesday. This recording is on Tuesday. So hit the like button. Hey, 2 seconds of your time. Hey. Hit that subscribe button as it's popping up right now, and the notification bell will let you know when this content and new videos comes out. I didn't even realize that I had these glasses on during this. Your boy went from sophisticated with the buttoned up polo, the purple polo, to putting the glasses on, and now he's on a whole nother level of, is that my professor? Is that my professor right now teaching me right here? Hey, we'll take him off. Don't worry about it. We'll take him off for right now. So that is my first play on the day. Rory 20-1. You can find it at 19-1 still in the marketplace. The second number that I am going to attack, and this was another one. I told my friends yesterday, I can't believe Brooks this morning on Monday morning was 30-1 to win this thing. 30-1 to win this thing, and because, yes, he had surgery, and yes, he's getting engaged now, so people are going to be floating things out there. Is he mentally there? There's been reports that he's been playing at Augusta for the past 3, 4, 5 days, and everything looks fine. There's been people literally following Brooks around for content, but Brooks looks good out there. That's what they're saying. So I have Brooks as my second bet right now at 30-1. And the only concerns about Brooks is the time off. Is there a rust factor? Obviously, is the injury going to play a part here? But let's just say that what we're seeing in the reports that are coming out of Brooks playing completely fine, of Brooks looking really good out there, of Brooks being in peak form, let's just say that all of that is actually true, or at least you want to believe it at this number. Well, then I think Brooks should probably be 14, 12-1 in this field. Right now, this tool is saying that Brooks right now, there's 4% EV, which is going to be the best in this field. It's saying that Brooks is underpriced at 28-1. He should be 12-1. So got him at 30-1. If you can find him anywhere out there at 30-1, he's 28-1 on FanDuel as of this recording. And let's not get it twisted. Brooks just won at the Weights Management on Super Bowl weekend. He ended up playing decent at the Genesis. The putter wasn't that dynamic, so he finished in the 30s. And then he finished runner-up at the WGC Mexico, where his approach play was clicking. He was dynamite with the putter. The tee to green was fantastic. Brooks was basically in peak form in 3 events, a first place, a victory, and a second place. Put on the Captain America cape, wear those tight polos, let your biceps show, and we're going to take you at 30-1, and I still recommend the 28-1 that you're seeing out there. Brooks Koepka right now, sure, maybe he is injured, maybe he's going to have a lot of rust on him, but this is a big game hunter, and you're getting him at, in my opinion, the best value in the entire board right now out of these 88 players at the Masters. Now, next up for me is going to be Mr. Patrick Reed, who has won here back in 2018. And when you think about Patrick Reed's game, it is a little bit concerning that he's kind of the outlier who won here back in 2018, right? It's really hard for Patrick Reed to consistently put on those types of performances because he needs his approach play to be firing, right? And you actually saw his approach play firing in back-to-back contests. When he won the Farmers, it was decent. It wasn't great. And then he finished top 10 at the WGC Mexico. He gained 5.3 strokes on approach. So the approach play lately has actually been good, right? Over the last month and a half, Patrick Reed right now, who you can get at 33-1 is the best spot that I'm seeing on DraftKings. I got him at 40-1 on PointsBet to start the week off on Monday morning. The 33-1 right now for me, it's kind of an in-between ground, right? Like if you want to get it, you can. It's probably just kind of a coin flip at this point for me. I still would like to have some action in Patrick Reed. So if you don't take him here, maybe a first round leader or a head-to-head play. But Patrick Reed's approach play, that's it. You know the putter is going to be there for Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed has gained strokes putting in every single event dating back to the U.S. Open back in September. The first time that he lost strokes was the Tour Championship. So he's going to gain the strokes putting. His approach play over the last 2 contests, yeah, he's losing like a half a stroke per contest. It's not great. It's not great, Bob. But if Patrick Reed does anything on approach, he's going to be live, and he has that killer instinct. Now, in the Masters, there's a lot of these guys. A lot of the guys at the top of the board, right? We can scroll down through them. A lot of these guys have the killer instinct. Like on this screen right now, Brooks Koepka and Colin Morikawa have that killer instinct. I would say that Xander doesn't. Rory hasn't shown it in a while. Rahm and JT and Bryson definitely have that. I can come from behind and beat you on Sunday down 2 or 3 strokes. So Patrick Reed at 40-1 for me was a nice bet. Right now, this tool is saying that it's basically a break even, a negative 0.3%, basically a break even that if you take this, it's a fine bet. You're not getting any additional value on it. At 40-1, there was value. So that's why you should probably be jumping on Brooks Koepka. Like, give me Brooks Koepka 28-1 over Reed 33-1, but Reed at 33-1 was my third bet. I got him at 40-1, something that I like. Now, Paul Casey was my fourth option. Paul Casey is arguably playing, like, there's a couple of guys right now that are playing like top 5 golf in the world. And I mentioned this the other day to some of my friends in the chat. They said, is Spieth playing the best golf right now in the world over the last month and a half? And I said, let's just not get ahead of ourselves. Spieth is playing very good with all these top 5s, and I definitely think he's playing probably top 3 golf right now. But you have to see just what the consistency is of guys like Jon Rahm and Justin Thomas. How often that Justin Thomas winning, right? Things like that. How often that they're finishing highly. Spieth obviously has a win, so he's going to jump over guys like Tony Finau, who have been playing really well, and Paul Casey, who has been playing really well. So he's going to jump over those guys. You have to give him that because he's actually closed the door. He's come into Sunday with a co-lead or a outright lead 3 times, and now he has won once. Let's not get it twisted on Paul Casey. Paul Casey comes into this one at 40-1. I think that's a very strong number. I got him at 50-1 on PointsBet yesterday. The 40-1 number is still there. I think that that's a completely fine number. And I can pull up Fantasy National. You can check it out down below. This is a site that I have a membership to, and you can get one as well if you want to. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just think it's a really good tool. But you can see what Paul Casey has done over his last couple events. He's been fantastic. Every single spot he's gone overseas and played well. He's finished tops over there. He has finished in his last 4 events, every single event this year, 8th, 5th, 10th, and 5th. You know what that means? That is 4 top 5s. Yes, you got that right. Everything in his game is clicking. I mean, everything is clicking. The tee to green play, right? The off the tee is the only thing that maybe you're like, I don't know if that's going to be that great, but it's still okay. Now, you need off the tee here a lot at the Masters, but it's still okay. It's not catastrophic. But the putter for Paul Casey has always been the thing. Where does Paul Casey come in with his around the green and putter? He's gaining around the green every event this year. The only time he's lost with the putter, he lost 0.3 strokes back at the Arnold Palmer, where he still finished top 10. Paul Casey right now is approach play, his ball striking. He's definitely a top 10 ball striker coming in for him, arguably top 5 ball striker, and that's including guys like JT in this field and Morikawa and Hovland and these elite Dustin Johnson elite ball strikers. Paul Casey's up there, and you're getting a very nice 40-1 price on him. So Paul Casey, last time out at the Masters, he didn't play great. He finished 38th overall. He had some up and down times, but I like the number 40-1. I still like it. I think you could take 40-1. I'd rather have 40-1 Paul Casey over Patrick Reed's current number of 33-1. The 50-1s, if you can still find them out there, I like that on Paul Casey. So my 4 outright bets that I got all on Monday morning from PointsBet, all of them: Rory 20-1, Brooks 30-1, Reed 40-1, and Casey 50-1. Now there's some bombs that I'm considering on outrights, but I probably will only end up placing top 5 and top 10s. And what I mean by bombs is that most of these guys are over 100-1. So you can see right here, you have Justin Rose at 125-1. Justin Rose is not coming in with much good form, right? Like, we're not talking about any good form at all. He missed the cut at the RSM, although he showed some life from his approach play there. He finished 54th at the WGC event, not great at Mexico, right? Earlier this year, he was just kind of getting you there on a nice putting performance at the Zozo. But Justin Rose at 125-1, a man who has had great success here, a man who consistently makes cuts here. It's somebody that I do like to see because they have him valued as a 75-1 outright guy. There's some win equity in Justin Rose. I'll probably take some top 10 placing finishes on him, but Justin Rose is one of the guys that I'm considering right now. Corey Connors also at 125-1. Corey Connors and Rose actually opened up at 100-1, so they've actually dropped. So waiting in the week on these guys has actually been beneficial. Lucky on my end. I didn't know if that would actually happen. Corey Connors is another one of these guys that we can talk about, like a Paul Casey, who's playing some of the best golf of his, I would say, career right now and how consistent he's been playing. Corey Connors, always the problem with him is what is he going to do around the green? And at Augusta, that's going to matter. And what you saw last time out at the Valero was his around the green play for the first time this year and for the first time in a very long time, the first time dating back to like the CJ Cup back in October, the first time in a while that you saw Corey Connors, who right here is 125-1, you actually saw him lose a bunch of strokes around the green, 3.5 strokes. Now that's a concern, but does that hold up? It's the first time we've seen it in a while, so I'll say that it was just an outlier, but you're going to need that around the green play to come through at the Masters. Consistently is gaining strokes with his putter. He is massively gaining strokes ball striking. We know that. We know how good he is off the tee. His 4.6 strokes strokes gained off the tee was the best that we've seen his off the tee game play since February of 2020. Over a year ago at the Waste Management, that is the most strokes he's gained since that time. You want off the tee play here at the Masters. Obviously, you're going to need the putting, right? The firm, fast greens. You're going to need that wherever you go, but especially here at the Masters. But the off the tee play is going to be massive. Corey Conners is one of the best ball strikers in this field at 125 to 1. I prefer him to Justin Rose right now. I'm going to be looking for top 10 placing points on Corey Conners, and I might end up playing. You can check my Twitter card. I'll post that on Wednesday afternoon at SalVetcherDFS. I might end up playing the 125 number. And then Max Homa, who was 125 to 1, he's now 150 to 1. Max Homa, somebody who won at the Genesis, right? He ended up winning at Riviera, which is a very similar course in terms of what you need to be doing off the tee right now. Max Homa, the last event or two, he's somewhat struggling is what I would say. I don't think that he's catastrophic anywhere. Nothing in his game is blowing up. He's just not playing peak form like he was earlier this year, but the form is still really good, right? He misses the cut at the Players, fine. He loses 3 strokes with the putter for the first time, losing over 2 strokes with the putter dating back to the Houston Open in November. Homa has been a really consistent player. The approach play has basically been there since the whole year has been there. The tee to green play, the off the tee play has actually been better than it ever really has been. He lost a half a stroke at the Players, but other than that, gaining 2.5, 1.5, 3.5, and 1 stroke over his 4 previous events with 3 top 10 finishes and a win at Riviera, the Genesis. So Max Homa is looking good. Out of all those guys who I would rather take the outright bet on, it's probably Homa just because you get the best odds at 150 to 1. So out of those 3 bombs that I talked about, Homa 150 to 1, Conners 125 to 1, I'm considering placing outright bets on, but I like those guys a lot for top 10 placing, maybe even top 20 if the odds are good enough, and Rose 125 to 1. I just think that there's some win equity there, but I don't know how much I like him compared to those other bombs since I already have a pretty decent sized card. But thank you for tuning into this video right now. I do not have any interest in any of these guys up top, and Rahm at 12 and these guys at 12 to 1 and Bryson at 11. I think there's a lot of value in Bryson. The books say that he should be 7 or 6 to 1 this week, which is fucking crazy, but it is an 88 person field. Keep that in mind. It's not a full on field, so there's probably only like logistically 20 guys who could beat Bryson this week. So the books are saying that Bryson and Brooks are the most underpriced. I'd rather get the bigger number on Brooks 28 or 30 to 1 than the Bryson's 10s to 1 out there, and 11 to 1 is the best number currently on DraftKings. So thank you for tuning in. Before you go, like, subscribe. I appreciate that a ton. We already have a DFS video out for this week for the Masters. We'll have a live stream tomorrow for all you ladies, gentlemen, fellas in the streets right now. Put your hands in the air like you just don't care. Sit back, relax, max all cool, because we're 2 days away of this recording. Maybe we're a day away. Maybe it's an hour away. Maybe you're watching this in the future and you already know what happened. And you're just checking back to cash some receipts because we just probably won some $. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Live stream tomorrow. So like, subscribe so you know when we're doing that, and that notification bell. Best of luck at the Masters. Let's win some $. This is a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. Have fun with it. Just 88 players. Can we just hit on one of them? We're feeling good this year. We already have picked 6 outright winners out of, I think it's been 10 or 11 weeks so far. We haven't placed any outright bets over the last 2 weeks. So, match play kind of weird. Valero wasn't really feeling it. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you all the time. And I'll see you in the next one.